Hi guys, welcome to the very first video from my channel. Today's game we are playing is called Tailor Tales. Let's get started, shall we? Okay. Okay, then 1 minute guys, technical difficulties. Anyways, welcome to my channel. As all of you can tell. Let's get this pulled up. Okay. Let me left. That goes to the right. Okay. Let's get this started, guys. But yeah, as I was saying, this game is called Tailor Tales. Okay, let's start the first chapter. Okay. Yes, okay. So just to let you guys know, this is the trigger warnings for everything for the guy that we are going for. Okay. There is sexual harassment in this, so if you do not like that, please click off the video so that you guys don't get uncomfortable with how it looks. Okay, okay, let's look at the controls there so we can okay. The game, the message window. Okay. Give me 5 seconds, guys. Okay. We can just skip that. Okay, let's begin. Let's think of a name for the game leader. Okay. Let's go with Wolf. One minute, guys. Let me take a second to get stuff. Okay. We're gonna switch over my stuff to over here. Okay. And here's the, okay. Sorry about that, guys. Needed to switch around something. Okay. Let me turn off my light. Sorry. Okay. Okay, back to this. Let's do Wolverine. Yes. The bell signaling the end of the day rings through the classroom, and my shoulder drops with a sigh of relief. It's been a long week, that's for sure. I'm looking forward to heading home and chilling out over the weekend, watching a few movies, maybe popping some popcorn, doing some online shopping. Oh, who am I kidding? What I'm really hoping for is some action. It's been almost 2 weeks since our last run-in with one of the rival gangs who pollute our city. It's quite unsettling. Okay, so this story, I'm guessing, is gonna be between two rival gangs, so hopefully it turns out good. Okay. If you guys like it, like the video, subscribe. Let's get on with our story though. I can't help but wonder what they are up to and when they'll strike next. Shaking my head to clear the thought, I met my best friend Sarah in the hall, where she greets me with a bright smile. Ready for the weekend? I give her a dry look, resisting the urge to say something snarky in return. Something in her smile turns wicked, like she's up to no good. Lay it on me. What have you found out? I ask. The DeCapo gang is planning on a bonfire in Stanton Park next weekend down by the river. Lacey caught wind of it on Facebook. So Nikki and I were thinking, gross, no way am I crashing a DeCapo party. Let me finish, Sarah says in a low whisper, ignoring the students who look at us as they walk by. Nikki and I were thinking, what better way to celebrate the new term than by calling in their bonfire to authorities? Okay, so we don't like the DeCapa. Okay. I fixed my best friend with a pointed stare, my lip pursue and thought of a way options. On one hand, there's nothing I love better than to stir up some trouble with the DeCapa gang, but on the other, calling the police on a rival gang is a pretty low move. You know, it should really be you who makes the call. Don't you agree, Wolverine? I give Sarah a withering glare, knowing she finds the nickname the student of Claire Academy have given me as their leader just as absurd as I do. Surely we can think of something better than calling the cops. We want them to recognize our authority in the city by our own means. Calling the police on them doesn't exactly scream menacing, you know? She's not wrong though, guys. Wouldn't you agree? I would think that's pretty much nothing. Okay. Remember when the capo called in that anonymous tip on Rex, saying he was running an illegal dug green in his basement? If they can play dirty, then why can't we? I snore at the memory. Rex was the previous leader of the academy before me, and the police had torn his house apart on that particular occasion, only to come up empty. With a sigh, I have to admit that she has a point. So what do you say? She urges me on. We call the cops on them? Okay. What should we do, guys? Should we be fierce or kind? I feel like we should go the fierce route for at least this playthrough. Let's see what happens if we choose all fierce lookouts. We'll do fierce. Agree, bonfires are illegal in this city. Alright, Officer Wolf, do you want to bring your handcuffs and arrest them yourself? Sarah chuckles, her eyes sparkling with amusement. I clip my tongue at her, unimpressed, and she clamps her mouth closed, making a gesture with her hand, and her lips are sealed. The settlement doesn't last long. On a more serious note, seeing the Phantom in cuffs has got to be the kind of dreams are made of, she says, staring off into space. Just imagine it for a second, will you? I can't imagine someone in handcuffs when I don't even know what they look like. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Okay, so it looks like someone has a crush on the guy that they're talking about. Let's see how good looking he is. Okay. Sarah and I head down the hallway together. Students around us on either side of everyone hurry to leave and head home for the afternoon. It's only when our phone goes off simultaneously that we both stop to check the message. Pulling my phone out of my pocket, I swipe the screen to unlock it and scan the word that I hear. It's Nikki, Sarah says with a gasp. Riversiders are here. Okay, I wonder who the Riversiders are. Okay, let's find out who the Riversider is. The Riversider side. A high school of the opposing side of River Massey earning the title Riverside High, a rival school to both Clare Academy and DeCapo High. Its game is led by the Hammer. I wonder who the Hammer is. We better hurry, I say quickly. I tuck my phone in my pocket once again and grab Sarah by the arm. The two of us run through the corridor, students leaping out of our way as we do so until we step outside and onto the main. Okay. When we find Nicky, he has a group of 10 or so others with him, a lot of them standing guard at the front gates. A group hardly looking messy in their designer jackets and squeaky clean white sneakers, but I have the privilege of knowing that when it comes to my game, looks aren't everything. So I'm guessing the boy's Nicky and this is... Okay. What's happening out here, I ask Nicky as we approach. He gives us a grinning smile, waving a hand to nowhere in particular. Bunch of Riversiders have been hanging out down the street since around the 4th period. We think they're after the bell, but we can't be for. I curse softly under my breath, letting my green eye slide to the brass bell that hangs high on top of the school building. When the academy was first constructed 100 years ago, the bell was used to signal the beginning and end of the school day. Now it sits preserved and unused, a beloved symbol of our school's long history. Without a doubt, if the Riversiders have taken the time to cross the river and venture into the city, that only means one thing: they're looking for trouble. What do you want to do about it, Xavier? Sarah asked, looking at me expectantly. Suddenly, the stares of a dozen others are on me. Talk about pressure. I take in a breath, my blood rushing with adrenaline as I smother my grin. If you had told me this last year, I would be a leader of the Cleaner Academy gang, the one that makes a hard decision and incites everyone else to follow them, I would have said that very idea was ludicrous. What's even harder to believe is how much I like it. The confrontation, the wars, constantly trying to one-up our rivals. I got a taste of the power and found out I liked it. We'll keep a lookout for now. Riverside is hardly worth our time, but we can't just let them waltz in here and do whatever they please. I narrow my eyes. If they dare to come in closer, even a single step, then they'll have their asses handed to them. Okay, so since there is some cursing in this, please do not let young children watch this, because let's not have young kids here cursing. Sarah nodded in agreement with the decision. You should go home, Wolverine, Nicky says, throwing her thumb in the direction of the gate. Me and the rest of the grunts will take care of it. Give me 5 seconds, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Let's try again. My lips pull into a tight line. I try not to wince at the nickname Wolverine, is what they know me as, all throughout the city and school that inhabit it. If only I had the option to choose my own. Most people are surprised when they discover the real me, looking like I should be a pretty mannequin on display in the boutique window rather than the leader of my very own gang. Though, they quick to hide it. I'll stay. Nothing would give me more pleasure than getting the chance to make an example of those who dare to trespass our turf. I take up the spot leaning against the gate that are the only entrance and exit to our school, watching the remaining students file under the archway and disappear down the street. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. It's Wolverine. One of the students shrieks as they spot me. They scurry off as they see the ghost. They all address me as they pass by. Every single one of them. Some seemed happy to see me. Others looked downright terrified. Once upon a time, I was invisible to this school, and now I barely get a moment to myself. I never expected I like it so much. Yeah, go kick the Kappa's ass, yells another student, fist bumping the air. That's not on the menu today, I say coolly. Not today. It's Riverside High that's causing trouble. Usually it's the Kappa High. That's a pain in the ass to deal with. But they're not the only ones we have long-standing feud with. They are on the menu every other day, Nikki snickers. No worries, we got this, joined Sarah confidently. We be able to pull it off today. Oh. After all, we have Wolverine as our leader. I smirk proudly, amused when I think back to the exactly how everything had happened. With the last game leader, Rex, having graduated the year before, the school needs someone new to guide them. Someone who could protect our turf and people associated with them. I take kickboxing classes 2 days a week after school. My mother had insisted on them when I was younger as a form of self-defense. I picked it up right away. Not only did I love it, but I was good at it, like really good. But once the rumors began to float around about my skills, the school soon had their new leader, and about half a ton of responsibility added to my shoulders. I was hesitant at first. I wasn't sure I could pull it off. But I soon discovered that not only could I stand my ground, but as head of our gang, but I managed to build up a reputation nasty enough to keep our rivals on their toes. There they are, Nikki says Nikki says as he leans against the gate next to me. He points to the group of both guys and girls hanging out further down the street, smoking and jeering in our direction as they inch closer. The big one in front is Ivan Novak, leader of the Riverside Gate. They call him the Hammer. I wonder why, I mumble to myself sarcastically, my gaze traveling over to the pair of arms as big as tree trunks. You know, if you want to head over and end this right now, I've got your back. I give Nikki a smile. I'm sure he can already see that I'm raring to go. Pushing myself off the gate with a smirk, I motion for the group to form around me. I start laying down the plan and how we're going to have Riverside running back to their part of the city with their tails between their legs. All right, let's do this, I say confidently. If you guys are liking it so far, please give the video a like, comment. Other games you would like me to play, if I can play them, I will try my best. And I will try and reply to everybody's comments when I can. An evening sky darkens overhead. Angry gray clouds looming with the threat of the rain. I hurry down the street, my backpack bobbing against my back. My path illuminates only by the street lamps that cast their protective glow around me. I spent too long going at it with the Riverside girls, acquiring an assortment of cuts and bruises before we chased them off for good. It was rough, but it was worth it. I ran a finger over the bruise on my cheek and huff a laugh at the memory of the girl who elbowed me in the face. She got it back tenfold in the end, but by the time a lot of them had finally run off, she was sporting a split lip, and I'm pretty sure was a broken nose. Serves Riverside right for trespassing on territory they have no right to. The light rains start to fall, and I curse under my breath, coming back to reality and picking up the pace. I know the route home well. It's only 10 more minutes to walk if I'm quick about it. However, at this rate, I'm likely to get drenched before I get there anyway. It only takes a few more paces before I stop abruptly. A serious voice to catch my ear. No, not your voices. Shouts. Dread slithered down my spine as the sound of footsteps grew louder. I look around, but got nowhere to hide. And it's too late. Someone comes skidding around the corner. I yelp in surprise and jump out of the way, avoiding near collision between us. My hand flies to my chest as it's steadying my beating heart. That was close. Are you okay? I ask. Ooh! I wonder who this cute guy is, guys. The boy who almost knocked me over bends with his hands on his knees, breathing hard while watching me curiously. What were you just standing around there for? He demands to know. Okay, excuse me, you were the one that ran into me, or standing around is not a crime, you know. Let's be a little rude. I like the fierce. Excuse me, I say incredulously. You were the one that ran into me. I look him up and down as he straightens, towering over me with an air about him that's nothing short of arrogant. Don't you know it's dangerous to loiter around corners, he says with a condescending grin. So he's cocky, as we can all tell. Someone could get seriously hurt, he finishes. Tell me what you guys would do if you met someone like that. I don't know what I would do. I cross my arms over my chest, huffing. You seem to be perfectly intact, I feel the need to point out.
Oh.
Is that so? Do you want to check me? Just to be sure, he tilts his head to the side with a suggestive smile. It's not often that I'm at loss for words, but it still surprises me that all I can do is stoutly stare at the boy in front of me. Oh, sorry. Until the shouts come again, closer this time. Both our heads twist toward the source of the noise. Shit. I love to hang around and chat, but I'm a bit tied up, if you see what I mean. The boy starts quickly looking up and down the street, as if I'm deciding which direction to go. I put my head around the corner to get a better look at what he's running from, discovering the cause of the mayhem. Riversiders. I thought I was done with them for today. They kept me out here. The boy in front of me seems to be on just as uneasy terms with them as I am. So without a second thought, I make the decision to help him. Come with me. Grabbing his hand, I pull him after me. We bolt in the opposite direction away from danger. Water splashing around my ankles, soaking my shoes as my feet pound at the pavement, certain of their decision. It doesn't take long until we're skating to a stop in front of a playground, with the darkened alley off to the side. Breathing hard, I reach for the gate, the cold metal biting my fingers. I'm not all that surprised to find it locked. I reach back and handily pulled a bobby pin from my hair, letting the black strands that were pulled back on ones fall free.
Huh?
What are you? Dropping to my knees, I stick the end of the pin in the keyhole, turning a few times left to right, up and down before the lock opens with a click. How did you? Practice is all I say as I silence him with my fingers around his wrist. Pulling him along with me, meaning a little resistance as he follows. Quick, get inside. All right, I'm impressed is all. I'm still breathless when I pull him in behind me, closing the gate as quietly as I can and wincing the sound of metal screaming as I set it back in place. With a heavy exhale of breath, I lean back against the brick wall, eyes closed while a mix of rainwater and sweat runs down my face. It takes a moment to render that I'm not alone. No, I have this strange boy nearly pressed up against me. There is very little space to move down this alley, and I'm all too aware of this heat his body radiates off of him. Now that there's less than 10 inches between us, I have a clear view of his flushed face. It seems he may have escaped trouble. You were in a fight, I say. It isn't a question, and he knows it. With the raise of a dark eyebrow, He answers. 1 minute, guys. I gotta plug in my computer before it dies on me. We're good? Okay. Not by choice. The smug grin that curls his lips tell me everything I need to know. He's no stranger to a fist fight. I gaze that he's even good at it when not outnumbered. Okay, hey guys, give me 5 seconds to answer a call, please. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to answer a phone call real fast. Let's get back to the game. Look like you've been in quite a scrape yourself, he indicates, with his head to the bruise quickly developing on my cheek. Does it hurt? His tone of voice is almost genuine. Our eyes meet, and something in me wants to tell him everything that happened. The chattering of my teeth stops. I quickly look away. The alley is shielded from the rain. No, I still hear the drops echoing on the canopy above us. Here, take this, he speaks suddenly, shrugging off his jacket and holding it in front of me. What a gentleman, guys. It looks like we gents than I am. I don't want... Just take it, will you? I don't want to be the cause of you catching your death. I say nothing as I take a jacket, shrugging off my backpack to pull it over my arms and zipping it in front before returning my bag once more. It's a few sizes too big for me, but it's warm and it smells good. I stop shivering almost immediately. It suits you, he says as I rest to the earth to smile at him, even though I am grateful for the gesture. Pressing myself back into the wall, I find I'm barely breathing as a group of 5 or 6 people run past the alley, totally unaware of our presence. There's a few of them there was outside the academy earlier, but that doesn't make them any less of a threat. It's only when the shouts and footsteps disappear in the distance that I release the breath I've been holding. I try not to look at the boy across from me, though I feel his eyes on me all too well. It's probably best if we wait a few more minutes before leaving to make sure the coast is clear. Two against 6 is not the odds I like to take. Why did you help me? The boy's voice interrupts my thoughts. I snap my eyes up to him. He's watching me still, an expression twisting his features. I shrug nonchalantly. Riverside High are brutes. I never do anything to help them. You must go to cleaner academy. You got high society written all over you, he observes. And my eye glaring at him. You're from the Kappa High, aren't you? Anyone who's on the run from Riverside and I don't personally recognize them, they must go to the Kappa High, our biggest rivals. The best there is, he smiled proudly. Says you, I argue. The Capo High seems to attract a lot of trash. His expression faltered, suddenly looking wounded. There are 3 schools in our city of Cleaner. 3 schools that are constantly at odds with each other, trying to simultaneously outdo and sabotage the others. Riverside High, a rough and shady school. The other side of the river that divides our town. Okay, let's read about the Capo High, okay? A public school, high school close to Cleaner Academy. Students with lower grades attend this high school. The main threat of Cleaner Academy. Its gang leader, the Phantom. Okay, so I wonder if we'll meet who the Phantom is. The biggest of the 3, the public school with high reputation and reputation for trouble. And our school. The high school attended by hard-working students with rich parents. A rival school to both Riverside High and the Capo High. The gang leader is led by you. My school. The location of our schools form a triangle of sorts, and everything is between the hot property. The school fights over everything: parks, basketball courts, burger joints, anywhere we can stake a claim and make it as our own. And this boy in front of me, we're technically rivals. Students from other schools don't exactly mingle with each other. Hey now, there's no need to be so hurtful. We may be in different schools, but that doesn't mean we have to resort to being rude to each other. I suppose you're right. He hasn't done anything to me for me to be on so guard around him. He gave me his jacket as well, as a sign of good faith. You're right, I burdenly admit. He straightens his back with a smile. Then he's still for a moment, as though slightly weighing something in his mind. The name's Gray Jansen. You might have heard of me. My blood wrinkles. His name echoes in my mind. Gray Jansen. That's the name of the leader of the Capo High gang. Oh my goodness, guys. The hot guy that we like is our rival gang leader. And here I am, helping him get away from a bunch of Riversiders and accepting his jacket. I just colluded with our biggest enemy. Suddenly I feel sick to my stomach. I push the gate aside, stumbling onto the street with Gray right behind me. Is everything okay? He asked, slightly confused at my reaction. I'm fine. I have to go. Now that I left the shelter of the alley, the rain trickles on me once again. I shiver when it runs under the collar of the jacket and down my spine. Is my name that scary? I promise anything you may have heard about me is all just ludicrous fairy tales. He starts to explain himself. I say dismissively, looking around the place to get away from him. There's no way those are just fairy tales. Once I've heard that he infiltrated the Riverside cafeteria and slipped black in Monday's meatloaf. I heard that the reason the old factory had burned down across town was because of him and his gang had nuked it. There are other stories too, dark ones. Ones that make me wonder if that bright-eyed boy behind me is even capable of such things. I'm sure he's heard stories about me too. Or Wolverine, most likely. Thankfully, he doesn't seem to recognize me. Will you at least tell me your name? There's no way I can let him know who I am. We are each other's biggest enemies. A cruel run through my mind. I can't finish what the Riverside started and take him down right here, right now. The game would certainly be ecstatic with the outcome, but with my limbs currently frozen to bone, I'd be surprised if it could land a half-decent punch. The fight from earlier today also took a lot of energy out of me. So, I stay silent. Never mind then. I'm sure I can find it in an online yearbook. Cleaner Academy post on their website, he says with a wicked grin, and my heart stutters in my chest nervously. It's a useful tool, good for figuring out who I'm up against. Clip my tongue at him, trying to downplay the fact that I really, really don't want him to find out my name. Good luck with that, I say dismissively, turning to leave. Gray's footsteps splash in the puddle behind me. My teeth grind together hard. I can't be seen with him. Of all people, if any of the gang members saw me right now, I never live it down. Riverside High is a pain in the ass. Because they are across the river, they don't pose much of a threat. The Capo High has always been our biggest threat due to being close to us. Just last month, they stole our school's coat of arms from the entrance of the main hall. And when we finally found it, it was half burned in the river, covered in mud and all kinds of icky things. What are you doing in this part of town anyway? I suddenly asked him. This is our turf, after all. He shouldn't even be anywhere near, especially all on his own. As the leader of the Kappa High, if anyone from this academy sees you, you see me, and so far I'm still alive. He cuts me off. I stop abruptly, spinning on my heel to face him. Digging in my pocket, I pull out my phone, holding it up in front of me. What I hope is a menacing fashion. One text from me, and that all changes. He huffs a laugh as though amused by my sudden hostility. Who are you gonna call? Your personal shopper? I swipe the screen to unlock it and scroll through my recent contacts, my finger hovering above Nikki's name. I just about to hit the button to dial home when the phone is suddenly and rather rudely snapped from my hand. Oh, who's Nikki? Is that your boyfriend? Give that back now! Gray holds the phone just out of reach as I jump for it, a growl tearing its way from the back of my throat. Sure, I'll give it back right after I put in my number. I kicked him in the shin. I have no patience for games. Ouch, he yelped, allowing me to retrieve my phone without a hassle. Alright, you win, my bad. Gray holds his hands up in defeat, taking a step back and eyeing me worriedly. It only takes a second before that easy grin slides back onto his face. When can I see you again? With the last huff of air, I roll my eyes, ignoring his low, throaty grin. There's no denying that he's attractive, but that means absolutely nothing to me. How about never, I reply. I ignore his question, blinking through the rain as I turn and make my way home once again. Well, it would not mean you girl from Kleiner Academy, he called after me. This time, he doesn't follow me. Good riddance. I can't believe I ran into the leader of our rivals. I'm so lucky he doesn't know what Rolfrin looks like. Okay. So, I'm going to end it here since we just finished chapter 1. If you guys liked it, please let me know in the comments if you want to continue seeing this story. And if you have any requests, let me know. But thank you guys for watching so much. See ya!